Scoring goals, winning games and sitting top of the Scottish Premiership table is not for everybody, but it is for the Jambos as they defeat Kilmarnock in Ayrshire by 3-0 and go 5 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. It really is a glorious Saturday. Saturday nights are alright. Aye, you're damn right they're alright. They're better than alright, actually. Never mind Saturday nights are for fighting. Saturday nights are for loving life, and that's what I'm doing right now. Hearts with a big 3-0 win. Halkett with the opener. Braga with a brace. Claudio Braga, what a man he is. All we need is Claudio Braga. And that is true. I mean, the guy was phenomenal. In the space of 4 minutes, he just completely killed the game. And yeah, comfortable 3-0 win. In the end, it probably could have been more. A little bit fortunate, I think, to actually go in front, because I do believe that Kilmarnock started the game better, and I was a wee bit worried. Even going into the game, I thought this was a potential match where there's certainly points that could be dropped. I mean, Kilmarnock, difficult team, difficult place to go to, and they started the better of the two sides, but Hearts got the breakthrough. Craig Halkett again. Now, the defending wasn't good enough from the set piece. Unmarked, free header, not good enough. Kilmarnock will be raging, and I'm sure Stuart Kettlewell's not happy with that. But, you know, Halkett, right place, right time. And even though he was unmarked and it makes the header a lot easier, you know, he still has to get the header on target, and it's a good finish. And Craig Halkett's been really good from set pieces. So is Stuart Finlay. You look at the centre-backs, look at our defenders, and they're adding so many goals, and I think that set-piece coach that we brought in is certainly working. And when you've got great players up front, when you've got players that are capable of scoring goals in attacking positions like Shankland and Braga and Kizaridis, and then you're adding goals from the back as well, from the likes of Halkett and Finlay, then you know that's a recipe for success, and we're seeing that so far. So Hearts went in front with the corner kick there, and I thought it was against the run of play, but the goal really did give Hearts a lot of momentum, and I think it changed the game. I think Hearts then seen out the rest of the first half, and I think Hearts were the better side for the remainder of the half after they got the goal. But until then, you know, it was Kilmarnock that were in control, and it was Kilmarnock that were looking the better side. But as they say, goals change games, and this goal certainly changed this game. Then we get into the second half, and Claudio Braga with a nice wee finish for the second goal, and Hearts were on top at this point, so that second goal really consolidated Hearts' dominance and really put them in a good position where they would probably see out the rest of the game. But then there was no probably about it, because we get another slack pass a few minutes later. Kizaridis picks up on it, he's charging down on the KILLIE defence, and he just plays a nice wee pass into Braga inside the box, and then Braga with some great footwork just takes it round the keeper with his right foot and then taps it in with his left. It was lovely from Braga. It was so skillful, and it looked fucking easy, but pretty hard finish to do there. But he made it look he made it look easy there. So I mean, yeah, I mean he made it look like he was playing FIFA against the AI on semi-pro. That's what he looked like he was doing there. It was so calm the way he literally just dribbled it past the keeper, and it was like a 1-2 finish into the net, where he takes it around the keeper with his right foot and then just taps it in with his left foot. It was great. It was fantastic. That gave Hearts a 3-0 win. Then at that point, I think Hearts were dominant. Really could have made it 4, could have made it 5, but it wasn't to be. I'll take the 3-0 win. Kilmarnock, I think, were all over the place. They never really looked like getting back in the game. I think that they'll just kind of be a bit relieved that there wasn't more goals added, because Hearts were comfortable, were passing it around well, knocking it around well, pressurising and pressing Kilmarnock, not giving them any time or space on the ball, and Kilmarnock were making mistakes, didn't look comfortable. It was a great performance for Hearts in the second half, and just scoring goals with the strikers, scoring goals with the defenders, just scoring goals for everywhere. And, there's still more to come. Cheskinov is to come in January. That deal has been official, and we're just waiting on him arriving. You've got the new £2 million man, Agu, who we've barely seen. We've barely seen because of injury, so he's to come back as well. No, there's lots of great stuff happening at Hearts right now, and I think it's going to get even better. So a big win for Hearts, 3-0 against Kilmarnock, like I said, puts them 5 points now clear of Celtic at the top of the table. Some of the other results from today, we'll just go over them and have a quick look here. So Hibernian defeated Livingston by 4-0. Big win for Hibs. I think they needed that. Livy now looking in trouble a little bit. They're struggling. Motherwell 1, Falkirk 2. Surprising, but, another good result for Falkirk. That's 4 points now in their last 2 games. That draw against Rangers, and then a big 3 points at Fir Park. They're looking good. John McGlynn can be proud of his boys. Rangers 2, Dundee United 2. More drop points for Rangers. That is only 1 win now in 8 games. Where did it all go wrong for Rangers? And speaking of wins, Aberdeen got their 2nd win in a row as they defeated St Mirren. And it's crazy how bad Aberdeen's start to the season was. But now, if you actually look at the league table, they've won more games than a decent amount of teams in the league. They've won more games than Livingston, they've won more games than Dundee, they've won more games than Motherwell, and they've won more games than Rangers. So Aberdeen have won the same amount of games as anybody in the league outside of Hearts and Celtic. So it just goes to show you that Aberdeen, really poor start to the season, 2 wins in a row. All of a sudden now they find themselves moving up. They're out of the relegation spot, they're out of the relegation playoff, they're sitting in 10th, and they're another win away from potentially moving in to the top 6. So just goes to show you how tight and congested this league table is. And it is kind of down to all these draws, albeit the only draw we've seen so far this weekend is Rangers Dundee United. I'm hoping that we see another one tomorrow with Dundee Celtic, or even a Dundee win would be phenomenal. But yeah, Aberdeen have pulled it back, so fair play to them. And it's their horrible start this season, isn't looking that bad anymore. But let's get back to Hearts then, and we'll see what the players had to say after the game. So Hearts midfielder Cammy Devlin said on Premier Sports, quote, "I think it was a bit scrappy in the first half, to be honest. You come here, it's always a hard game. We knew it was going to be tough. They've started the season really well. The second half was more like us." End of quote. And I agree, first half was scrappy. I think first half Hearts were slightly maybe fortunate to be in front because the goal did come against the run of play, but there's no doubt in the second half that Hearts controlled the game and Furley deserved to pick up the 3 points and got 2 Claudio Braga goals. Could have potentially been more. Speaking of Claudio Braga, he said, quote, "It's amazing to keep it's amazing to keep winning with this team. It was a joy to play. First half not so much, but especially the second half, we showed how we can play. It's enjoyable." End of quote. And it is enjoyable, and it's enjoyable having him in this Hearts team. If you look at the stats, Hearts were pretty dominant. Expected goal ratio was 2.53 compared to KILLIE's 0.26. Hearts had 19 shots to KILLIE's 7, and they had 5 shot on target to KILLIE's 2. Shots inside the box, Hearts had 15 compared to KILLIE's 4. So it's just showing you that Hearts, they were working the ball into the box, they were getting close. It's not like the majority of the shots were from long distance or like hitting hope. Nah, Hearts were doing really well, and like I said, working the ball into the box and creating really good chances. Touches in the opposition box, 38 to 17 as well for Hearts. So, just dominating. Hearts were great, and a 3-0 win in the end. I don't think flatters Hearts. I think that was a bit of fair reflection of how the game went. Anyway, Derek McInnes, what did he have to say after the match? He says, "Rangers can go and fuck themselves." No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that, but I'm saying it. Keep your hands off. That's what Derek McInnes had to say. He said, quote, "In the first half, the first 15 minutes or so, Kilmarnock asked questions of us. I thought we played our way into the game, and the goal came at a good time. I didn't think there was much in it first half, but when their press came on, we started to engage with our strikers and scored a couple of good goals. The last 20 minutes were quite enjoyable, as you have options from the bench to freshen it up, see it out, and make sure it's not too dramatic." It looked straightforward in the end, but until the third goal went in, it wasn't. We just want to take care of each and every game. No one is getting carried away. End of quote. And listen, I agree. Listen, at 1-0, it can go either way. I don't think we were that good in the first half, but second half we were great. And I think the second goal pretty much put us out of sight. But the third goal came, moments after, and it was really a quick fire double that Kilmarnock didn't even know what hit them. So I don't think there was a big difference between the second and third goal, especially because they came so close and so soon within each other. So, yeah, I agree with McKenna to a certain extent, but I think it was the second goal that really kind of put the game beyond Kilmarnock. Speaking of Kilmarnock, what did Stuart Kettlewell have to say? He said, quote, "I thought we were on the front foot, and then we drop a marker, and it's a really good header, and I thought Hearts grew into it at that point. We got to a point tonight where we were trying to make passes and put pressure on ourselves. Hearts are going to punish you if that's the case. And the frustrating thing is, we haven't seen those individual errors so far this season. We didn't show a great reaction to the first goal, definitely didn't to the second, and by the time the third goes in, Hearts are playing with real confidence." End of quote. And I think that's fair from Stuart Kettlewell. I think they started the game very well. When Hearts scored, though, Kilmarnock just didn't really recover from that, and then those two goals in the second half, that quick fire brace for Braga, that really did put the nail in the KILLIE coffin. But Kilmarnock still had a decent start to the season. I don't think they should be getting too carried away with this result. It's a bad one, and it does see them drop down the table. They drop down to 5th now, but they're still doing okay, still sitting with 10 points. The goal difference now is been wiped out. They've got a neutral goal difference, 11 scored, 11 against, but I think KILLIE are okay. They're going to be fine this season. I know some fans didn't really exactly want Stuart Kettlewell in there, but I think he'll do a decent enough job. Some people were saying maybe top 6 after the good start. I think that's going to be a bit of a stretch. Still think Kilmarnock are unlikely to be top 6, but I don't see them struggling. I don't think they'll be anywhere near relegation, to be honest. And who knows, maybe they could get top 6, but that league table right now is so congested. So you've got Kilmarnock in 5th place with 10 points, but then you've got Falkirk in 8th place with 9 points. So, 1 point, and then Kilmarnock are only a point behind Hibernian. So Motherwell, who are in 9th, they're 1 win away from potentially going up to 3rd. With Hibernian on 11. So, a couple of wins, a couple of good results in a row, a couple of bad results in a row will be the difference between dropping down the table or increasing and climbing the table. So, it's close. Right now, it is close. But the only thing that is not close is the top of the table, where Hearts currently lead by 5 points. Celtic have that game in hand. That game in hand comes tomorrow against Dundee, and here's hoping that Stephen Presley's Dundee can do something and that they can get a result. I'm praying. I hope it happens. I don't think it will, but who knows? Who knows? Dundee have already taken points off one team from Glasgow this season. Who's to say they can't do it again? And Dundee United, another team for Dundee, took points off a Glasgow team. So why not? Why not? Stephen Presley, good player for Hearts, great player for Hearts. I tell you what, he could be an even better manager for Hearts without even managing us tomorrow if he takes points off his Celtic, and I hope that it happens. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it. We'll catch you in the next one. Been Fog Football. Let's know your thoughts down below. Hearts now sitting top of the table, 5 points clear, and it's a great, beautiful Saturday night. Till next time, peace.